Good morning, Dr. Haslina. I am Abunzal Kenny, metric number 293-693. I am the leader of the group project, and today we will be presenting our project, the Online Clothing Store System, or we can call it OCSS for short. Let's start with the introduction. In short, our company OCSS Enterprise is based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We developed this system in response to the growing demand for convenient, fast, and secure online shopping. And this all is especially among students, work adults, and fashion-conscious individuals. With OCSS, user can browse a wide range of cloth items and add them to their cart, and then they can complete their purchase using various payment methods. And they can done all this from their comfort of their home or just mobile device. The system also support features like order tracking, secure authentication, and real-time inventory check to create a seamless and reliable shopping experience. Next, let's go with the problem statement. So what's the problem? So despite the growth of e-commerce, many small to medium-sized fashion retailers still rely on outdated or manual systems. These traditional methods often lead to delay in order processing, inaccurate inventory information, limited customer engagement, and overall a poor shopping experience. But customer today is expecting a secure payment option, easy browsing, fast checkout, and tracking features. So without automation, business risk losing competitiveness and customer satisfaction. Therefore, a system like OCSS is essential to modernize operation and meet customer expectation efficiency. So this lead to our three main objectives for developing OCSS. The first one is to develop a centralized and secure online shopping. This allowing all activities from browsing to payment to happen in one platform. And then second is to enhance customer shopping experience with features like real-time accessibility, mobile responsibility, and personality cart management. And the last one is to reduce operational errors and human dependency. This is done by automating order processing, inventory updates, and receipt generation. Next, this is the class diagram which show the structure of our system. So the core of the class diagram is we must have the OCSS control and the painter, and they are both interact to show the coordinate communications between the UI and the various data entities. So let's talk about the user class. This one, he store the user credential and account details, and they have method like to get their ID password to save and to update. And then the next one is the shopping cart to store the whole item by the user before purchasing. So it includes the methods such as save item and check the cart. And then the item info class, however, store the item product details like the name, the ID, the category, the descriptions. So they also have the methods such as the check category, check item, check availability, check size. And then the next one is the order class, which handle the order details when user make purchase. So which means the user can use method like check order status, retrieve order. And then after that, this is the payment class, which support the various multiple payment times. So which means they must have the payment ID, the method, the date, the amount, and the status. And they must include like methods such as the check card detail, check PIN number, check payment, transfer, verified PIN number, many all. And then after that, the user will receive a receipt. And of course, the receipt cards will store the receipt ID, the order nor the payment ID, the total amount, and even the receipt date. And then they also include methods such as update payment info. So each class actually contain its own method, such as the just now we said the store item, the validate details, or just check availability. And the relation between class are well defined. For example, an orders is contain many items and the payment is association with a specific order.
Hi everyone, my name is Chong Ming Tian, trick number 293991, and I'll be continuing on the basic functionalities. We have a list of functional requirements, which start with login, register, clothing browsing, add to cart, make payment, manage payment, order tracking, and then exit. So first thing first, let's talk about the login. Users can log into their accounts using their username and password. If they forget their password, they can reset it via the email using an OTP or by creating a new password. For the flow, they need to enter their username and password first. If it's not valid, they need to re-enter it or just click the forget password. And then the system will verify their credentials. If successful, they will be redirected back to the main page. Next up is the register. New user must register an account by entering required details. A verification email is sent for account activation. They need to enter their email, username, phone number, password, and re-enter their password. They also need to take to agree the terms on and condition of our OCSS. And then they need to check for unique username and their matching password. After that, they need to see the terms and condition, which they can click through it. After that, an email verification will be sent to their email, and then after verifying that their account registration will be successful. Next up is the close browsing part. Users can browse their clothing item, view product details, and search specific products using the search bar. For the flow of it, they have to open the browse page and they can view the item display. For interacting it, they need to click on the item to view its description, price, and availability. They also can use the search bar to find some specific items they needed. Next up is the add to cart page. Users can add their desired clothing item to their cart and edit them. They can also view what is inside their cart. For its flow, they have to click on the add to cart on item. After add the cart, add the item into the cart, they have to choose. They can choose to either continue shopping or proceed to checkout. After that, they can in the add to cart page, they can edit the item quantity or just remove the items. They also can view the items in the cart. For the next one is the make payment page. Users can complete the payment by selecting a payment method like the online banking, debit card, or credit card, or just using the e-wallet. The system will help to confirm and generate a receipt. For the flow at the make payment page, then they need to verify the order address and the total price of the order they are need to select it. Next, they have to choose the payment method, which is the three options: the banking, the online banking, debit or credit card, or using the e-wallet. After that, they have to enter some required info, for example, the TAC, the PIN, or the OTP. After entering it, they have to submit it and confirm the payment. After completing the payment, a receipt will be displayed and feedback will be asked for improvement. For the manage payment part, users can manage their payment after making an order. They can either cancel or request and refund if available, or view the latest payment status. They can access the payment history, and then they can choose to cancel or request a refund. And after that, they will receive a successful or rejected status, and then can view the latest updated on the payment detail. At the order tracking part, users can check the shipping status, estimated delivery date, and the order information. For the flow of it is to just go to the order tracking page and view the order progress and the estimated delivery date that is available, that is display on it. Last one is the exit page. Users can exit or log out of the system. If idle, the system will automatically helps the users to log out after a period of time. For the flow of it, it is very simple, which users can click exit on the logout button, and then they have to, and then a message will pop up, and they have to confirm to choose whether yes or no button. If yes, the system will be closed, and if no, they will be stay logged in into the OCSS. After a certain period of time of inactivity, they will be automatically logged out. Next up are the non-functional requirement of our OCSS. So the first one is the operation. The system must be available all the times and display a receipt after every successful payment. The next one is security. The system must protect the user data and transaction using encryption, secure login, and optional two-factor authentication. The third one is performance. The system must provide a real-time stock and order updates and ensure fast page loading. The fourth one is usability. The system must be easy to use with clear instructions and support for accessibility needs. Reliability is also one of the non-functional requirements. The system should work almost all the time without stopping. If there's a need to stop for maintenance, the user must be informed first. It should have saved all the data and be able to recover all the information if something went wrong. The next one is scalability. The system must work well, and even if more users, more products, and more orders are added, it should not be slowed down even during busy times like big sales. Next one is maintainability. The system should be built in a way that makes it easy to fix problems, add new features, or make updates in the future. The last one is compatibility. The system must work well on all major web browsers and look good on different devices like computers, tablets, and mobile phone. Okay, next up is the list of requirements. So first thing first, we talk about the functional list of requirements. The first one is the login requirement, and then it goes to the enter username and password, and then in the username and password, we need to enter the username and password, and we do the double check on the invalid information. If the user forget the password, they can click on the button and for the forget password and get the OTP to get back their own account. Next one is the verify password. If the if the password is not correct, the user has another more attempt to enter the correct password. If they forget their password, they could just click the button and or forget password and proceed getting back the password by getting an OTP or renew the password by email. The next requirement is the register. User must enter the email address, username, password, and re-enter their password again, and click on the terms and condition agreement so that they can proceed on the website. After that, we do the double check on the username. If the username is same with the another existing username, the system will ask the user to re-enter the new username. And if the password and the re-entered password are not the same, the user also need to re-enter the password similarly, so that they can be tally up. Next one is the email verification. After they have registered, they will receive an email by and the email will have a OTP for login number to verify the user. After everything is fulfilled, the user will be registered successfully. After that, the user can also see the terms and condition. Next up is the close browsing page. And after they enter the username and password and successfully log in, the close browsing page will be displayed and the user can interact with it. On the display close page, after the user interact with it, they can view the description, price, and store availability of the item they have selected. And then they also can search the clothes on the search clothes by entering the specific keyword and item. The item will be shown exactly. After that, they can add the item they wish to buy into the cart, and they can choose either to proceed to checkout or continue browsing the page. After that, they can edit the cart. They can either delete, update, or the quantity of the item they have added into cart, and can see what is added into cart also. For the Make Payment page, user can select any payment method such as the online banking, credit card or debit card, e-wallet, or even pay by cash. And when they need to check out, user need to verify the item they added in the cart, the shipping address, payment method, and the overall price. For the shipping address, they can add a new shipping address so that we can deliver it the product into the shipping address they entered. For the online banking, the system will be linking into the online banking application. The user need to input their username and password. They need to request the transaction authorization code, which also known as TAC, and they have to input their TAC. After that, the system will only show the confirmation message. Okay, for the debit card and or debit card, the user need to link the debit or credit card into our website. They must enter the card number, name on the card, expiry date, and security code. After that, the system will only display the confirmation message. For the e-wallet, the system will link it to the e-wallet application. The user need to enter the PIN number and request for OTP so that they can put in the OTP they have requested. After doing all this step, the system will display a confirmation message. For the feedback, after they have successfully transferred the amount needed for the item they have buy, a feedback page will be displayed, and then user can select whether they want to give a feedback for our system or not. After that, the system will display a thank you message no whether user has successfully filled in the feedback or just skip the session. After the feedback session, a receipt will be displayed for the payment they have just done just now. The user may select whether they want to print the receipt or not. For the managed payment, the system allows the users to edit the payment even the payment had been done. The users can either cancel, refund, or display the latest date on the payment detail. For cancel payment, they can cancel a payment when the deposit payment has been done and no refund will be made. Users will only receive the notice by showing cancel completed. For the refund payment, users can request for refund payment only when the users complete full payment and desire to cancel the payment for some reason. For the latest payment details, after the payment details is updated to the latest, they can view their latest update on the payment on the item they had just bought or not. For the exit, the system allows the users to either the browse, close the application or browser or log out of their account. The system will detect whether the users has logged out manually or not. If they have logged out manually, the system will end the session and direct them to the login page. If they doesn't log out manually, the session will be expire automatically after a certain period of inactivity, and the system will redirect to the login page. For the logout part, users can manually select the option. If the user is inactive for a certain periods, the session should be automatically expires and will display back to the login page. For the non-functional list of requirements, operations are quite important. The system must be accessible to the online users 24/7, and receipt must be displayed after the client payment is completed. For the security, the system must employ SSL or TSL encryption for all online payment transactions and implement secure login authentication mechanism. For the performance, they need to have real-time updates must be provided on the stock levels and the order status. For the close binding and order tracking page, they also must load as fast as possible. For the usability, the user interface must be intuitive and easy to navigate. Next up is the reliability. The system must maintain 99.9% uptime for shopping, login, and order service. The system must perform automatically daily backups of all critical data. For scalability, the platform must support growth in users, products, and orders without affecting performance. The system must handle peak traffic also. For maintainability, the system architecture must be modular and well documented for easier updates and maintenance. Lastly is the compatibility. The platform must be compatible to all major web browsers such as the Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. The platform must also be responsive and fully functional across desktop, tablet, and mobile device.
Start up this project, we will need a general use case diagram for the whole OCSS system. So here we are. This is the use case diagram for online clothing store systems. So we have some key use case which include the login and register. This one is include the password verifications and the email confirmations. And then the next one is the CRUD browsing, which is extended by the search curves and the display curves. And then the next one we have add to cart and view cart. These allow the user to manage their selected items. And then after that, they can go to the checkout, which they can enter their shipping address. After that, they can start to make their payment, and they have three options, which is the online banking, debit card, credit card, or e-wallet. And they can also make a feedback after their payment. And then if they want to refund, cancel, or view the updated payment details, they can go through the manage payment. And then after if they want to track where is their item, they can use the order tracking. So this system actor is handle back-end operations like verifying details and printing receipts. The use of extend and include relationship clearly define the dependency and operational process.
Good morning, doctor. My name is Lim Gui Hang, metric number 294032. And now I would like to continue the next use case, which is the cloth browsing use case. So in this use case, it allows user to browse through the available clothing item in the system. So user can interact with each item to view detailed information such as description, price, and availability stock. Next, for the precondition. So the user must be logged into the system or use a guest user. Next, the system must have clothing item available for display. Next, for the characteristic of activation, this use case is activated when the user select the browse close option from the main page of category list. Next, flow of event. So the basic flow is the user access the cloth browsing page from the login interface. Next, the system has the option to scroll to browse or click category or use the search function to find cloth. Then the user can interact with any item to view its description, price, and stock availability. The user may use the search bar to find specific clothing item. The user adds desired item to the cart. Next, the user can continue browsing to proceed to checkout, and the user may view, update, or delete item in the cart. Next, for the alternative flow. So there are four alternative flow. First one is category. The second is search. The third is buy button, and the fourth is back button. So for the category, if the user want to view the item under the specific category, they can enter the item category, then the list of item under the same category will show up. For the search, if the user want to find specific item, they can enter the item name, and the list of item with the same name will list out. Third, the buy button. So if the user want to directly buy the item, they can just click the buy button and it will direct to the payment process. And fourth is the back button. So when the user click the back button, it will return to the previous page. Next is the exceptional flow. So there are two errors. The first error is the size not available. So if the item doesn't have the specific size the user want, it will display size not available message. Next, if the item not available, the system will display the item not available message, and the user can select new item. Next, for the post condition, the user is able to see a list of available clothing item with the description, price, and stock availability. The system display interactive option for user to view detailed information on a specific item. And in this use case, it has no rules apply and no constraint apply. Next, for the clothing browsing activity diagram, so the user is given three options. The first option is scroll to browse. The second option is category button. The third option is search button. So if the user they have specific thing want to find, then they can click the category button or the search button, and the system will display the item list based on the selection. So if the user they just want to scroll to find the item they want, then they can directly select the item. And after the user select the item, the system will display the item details. So the user can choose the size of the item, the color of the item, and the type of the item. So after that, the user is given three options again, which is the add to cart and buy and back. So if the user click back button, then it will back to the display cloth browsing page. And if the user decide to add to cart, then it will go to another option, which is the user want to continue browse other items. If they want to browse other items, then it will back to the display cloth browsing page. If the user decide to buy, then they can click the view cart button. If the user they click the buy button, then it will directly go to the confirm item details. So the user click the view cart button, then the system will display the item in the cart. Then user can confirm the item details, enter their shipping info, then proceed to checkout. Next, for the cloth browsing sequence diagram, so the customer click the browsing button, and there are two alternatives. The first one is category, and the second is the search. So after they click the browsing button, it will display the item list. So customer can select the item, then the panel will send the item to the controller, then the controller will check the item info, then display the item info sent back to the browsing panel. Then the customer can select the item size, then it sends size to the controller, then the controller send the size to the item info to check whether the size is valid or not. So if the size is not available, there are E1 for the size not available. So if the size is available, the controller will display the available size for the control the panel. After that, the user can to cut, so the panel will send the item details to the controller, and the controller will check the item availability with the item info. If the item is valid, which is the item is available, then the controller will save the item into the shipping cart. If the and there is also an error for the item not available. So after that, the controller will display the item successful added to the panel. Then the customer can click the view card button. So after they click the view card button, the controller will receive the request, and it will check the card from the shopping cart. And the controller will display the card to the panel. So for the alternative one, the category, so the user click the and enter the category, then the panel will send the category to the controller. The controller will check the category with the item. Then it will display the item in category to the panel. The controller will send this to the panel. Next, for the search, the customer enter the item name. Then the panel will send to the controller the item name. After that, the controller will check the item with the item info. Then if there is the item in the list, then it will display the item to the panel. Next, for the error one, size not available. So if the size is not available, the controller will display size not available message to the panel. Then the user can select a new size. Then for the alternative 3, buy button. So the user want to directly buy the item, they can straight click the buy button. Then the panel will send the request to the controller. Next, for the alternative 4, the back button. So once the user click the back button, the panel will display the previous page. Next, for the error 2, the item not available. So if the item is not available, the controller will send a message to the panel, which is the item not available message. Then the user is required to select another new item. Next, this is the cross browsing collaboration diagram. So this diagram involves customer, cross browsing panel, cross browsing controller, item info, and shopping cart. And this collaboration diagram is come from the sequence diagram. And everything here is from the sequence diagram. So we just convert the sequence diagram to the collaboration diagram, and we get this. Next, for the make payment use case. So in this use case, it allows user to make payment for the items they have selected in the cart. So the user can choose from various payments methods such as online banking or the card or e-wallet. So upon successful payment, the system confirms the transaction and provides the user with a receipt. So precondition, the user must have selected item in the cart and verified the shipping details, and the user must be logged in and have valid payment details. So for the characteristic of activation, this use case is activated when the user click proceed to checkout button and select a payment method. The flow of event. For the basic flow, the user select a payment method after verifying content and shipping address. Then the system offer payment option, online banking, credit card, debit card, or e-wallet. So based off the chosen method, the online banking is the system linked to the banking app the user choose, and the user can enter credential and TAC. For the credit and debit card, the user enter the card type and card details, and for the e-wallet, the system linked to the wallet app that choose by user, then the user enter the pins. So the system confirm the payment and display the payment receipt. After that, the system will display the feedback for the user. Next, for the alternative flow, for the online banking, the user choose online banking button. Then the system will display online banking page. User required to choose which bank. User need to input username and password. User need to request TAC. User need to input TAC. The system will display confirmation message. And for the debit and credit card, the user choose the card button. Then the system will display the card pages, and users must enter type of card, number, name on card, expire date, and security code. Lastly, the system will display confirmation message. Third, for the e-wallet, the user choose e-wallet button, then the system will display e-wallet page. User need to choose which e-wallet, and user need to enter the PIN number. User need to request the OTP, and user need to input the OTP. The system will display confirmation message. For the extensional flow, the error is incorrect TAC. So if the user input incorrect payment information, the system will prompt for correction and retry. For the post condition, the payment is completed and confirmation is shown. A receipt is generated. The order is marked as paid. For the rules, the user must verify the payment amount before completing the transaction, and the payment only can make through these three way. First one is online banking, second is credit and debit card, the third one is e-wallet. So the concern is the user can only select one out of three types of payment method. Next, for the make payment activity diagram, so the user can click the make payment button. After that, they can select the payment method. So they are given two options. The first one is e-wallet, the second is debit card and credit card, the third is online banking. So if the user click the e-wallet button, they can select the e-wallet. So after select the e-wallet, they are required to enter 6-digit code, which is their PIN. So if the PIN is correct, then it will go to the valid. If the PIN is not correct, then it will invalid and back to the 6-digit code again. So they need to enter the PIN again. And if valid, they will go to another option. So if the payment is successful, then it will display the payment receipt, and the user is required to fill in the feedback, then exit the system. And also they also can not fill in the feedback and also can exit the system as well. So if the user the payment is not made successful, then it will display unsuccessful payment, then it will go back to the make payment page. Next, if the user use the debit or credit card, it will require to select the card type and request the TAC or the OTP, and if valid, then it will go to the same way, same process like the e-wallet. If no, then it will request a new OTP again. This also same goes to the online banking. Next, for the make payment sequence diagram. So the customer firstly click the pay button. After that, the panel will display the payment page. Then the customer required to choose payment method, and there are three alternatives. The first is online banking, second is debit card, credit card, and last is e-wallet. So after they choose, then they can send the payment method to the controller. Then the payment will retrieve the payment method. Then the controller will display the payment app page to the panel. After that, the user is required to insert their payment details, click pay button and request TAC. And then they send the pay amount to the controller. Then the controller will transfer the payment amount to the payment. Then the controller will send TAC to the panel. Then the customer receive the TAC. They can enter the TAC to the panel. Then the panel will send the user TAC to the controller. Then the controller will receive the TAC and validate the TAC. So if the TAC is correct, then it will display the successful message. If it is incorrect, then it will go to the E1. Then after that, after the payment is made successfully, then the controller will update the payment info to the payment. Then after that, the controller will send the receipt to the panel so the customer can see. Next, for the alternative one, the online banking method. So the user can click the online banking button, then it will display the online banking page. Then the user is required to enter their ID and password. Then the panel will send the bank ID password to the controller. Then the controller will check the bank ID password with the payment. After that, the payment will validate the ID and password. Then after validate, the controller will send the bank amount to the panel. Then the user will approve the transaction. After it approves the transaction, the panel will send the approval to the controller. After the controller receives the approval, then it will display the confirmation panel message to the panel. Next, for the debit and credit card. So the user they choose the card button. Then after that, the panel will display the card pages. Then the user is required to enter their card details, and the panel receive the card detail. They will send the card details to the controller. Then the controller will check the card details with the payment. Then the payment will validate the card details. So if the card is valid, then the controller will send card info to the payment, and it will send a confirmation message to the panel. Next, for the e-wallet. So the user click the e-wallet button, then the panel will display the e-wallet page. Then the user need to enter their PIN number. The panel will send the PIN number to the controller so it can check with the payment. So once the PIN number is verified, then it will display the successful message. Next, for the incorrect TAC. So if the TAC is incorrect, then the controller will send a TAC incorrect TAC message to the panel, and the user is required to re-enter the TAC. Next, this is the collaboration diagram for make payment use case, and it involves customer, make payment panel, make payment controller, payment, and receipt. So This collaboration diagram is convert from sequence diagram. So everything here is same with the sequence diagram.
Specifications for the managed payments. And the first, for the brief descriptions, this use case allow the user to manage their payment detail after the payment has been made. And user can edit payment details, cancel payments, request refunds, and view the latest payment status. And next, looking at the preconditions, the user must have successfully made a payment for an orders, and the system must have recorded the payment transactions. Then under the characteristic of activations, this use case is activated when the user select the manage payments options for the order detail or payment history sections. After that, we go into the flow of events, starting with the basic flow. The user access the payments management sections. Then the system allow the user to perform one of the followings. And the first is cancel a payment if payment haven't been made. And the second is require a refund for completed full payment. And the third is view latest payment updates. Moreover, under the alternative flow, we have two parts. The first is A1 cancel payment. If user click cancel payment button, it will validate the payment detail. If approved, will display cancel successfully message. And the A2 refund payment, and in it, user click the refund payment button, it will validate the payment details. If approved, will display refund successfully message. And meanwhile, under the exceptional flow, we have the first is the E1 refund rejected. If the refund request is denied, the system redirects back to manage payments, and user can request a new refunds. And for the E2 cancel rejected, if the cancel request is denied, the system redirect back to manage payment, and user can request cancel again. And finally, under the post conditions, the user is updated with the order's real-time delivery status. And lastly, under the rule and also under the constraints, both are noted as not applicables. If we go to the activity diagrams, manage payments, the activity diagrams for manage payments, the start when the user enter the process by selecting the manage payment. And from there, the user is presented with options. So the user can choose to either display the payment details or process to cancel payments or choose the refund payments. If the user select the cancel payment, the process move to the system side where it check if the cancellations is successful. If it is cancel successful, the system will then send the notifications. But if it is cancel fail, the flow goes back to the user. Similarly, if the user choose the refund payment, the process is validated on the system side. If it is result in refund successful, the system will also send notifications. But if it is end out as refund fail, the flow return to the users. Finally, after any of these parts, the process reach display manage payments complete, which finish the manage payment activities. And if you go to the sequence diagram for the manage payment, and this the sequence diagram for manage payments use case. If start at the top with the general case, which include the A1 cancel payment, A2 refund payment, and A3 display payment details. And at first, the customer does click manage payments to begin, and then the manage payment panel will send a get payment info to the manage payment controllers, which call retrieve payment info on the payments. After getting the data, it use send payment details back through the controllers. And finally, the manage payment panels will show the display payment details to user. And this complete the A3 display payment detail flow. And next, under A1 cancel payment, if the user decide to cancel, the customer does the click cancel payments, and the manage payment panel will send the send requirements to the manage payment controllers, which does checks payment info, and then call the validate payment details on payments. If everything is valid, it return and the panel will show display successful cancels and ending this cancel flow. However, if something fail the trigger E1 cancel rejected, and where the process show the prompt process fails, and then the customer can try again by doing requires new cancels. And similarly, under A2 refund payments, the user does click refund payment with send requirement against, and the controller check with check payments info and call validate payment details on payment. And if valid, it end by showing display successfully refunds on the panels. But if the refunds fail, this lead to E2 refund rejected, where it also show prompt process fails, and the customer can then do request new refund to try again. And if you go to the collaborations diagram for manage payment, and this is the collaboration diagram for manage payment use case. And first, the customer start by doing the click manage payments. Is sending this to the manage payment panels, and then the manage payment panels will send get payment info to the manage payment controllers. The controller continue by calling retrieve payment info on the payment components, and the payment send back the send payment detail to the controllers. And after that, the manage payment panel will show display payment detail to the customer. Next, if the users want to cancel, the customer does click cancel payments, again sending it to the manage payment panels. Then the panels send the send requirement to the manage payment controllers, and which call check payment info. And then the controller requires validate payment detail from the payments. And if successful, the panel show display successfully cancels. And similarly, if the user want to refund the customer, does check refund button, sending it to the panels. Then the panel will send the send requirement to the controllers, which check with check payment info, and then validate with validated payment details on the payment. If successful, the panel show display successful refunds. And however, if there is a process failure, the panel will show prompt process fails. Then the customer try again by doing request new cancels, sending it to the panels. Likewise, to refund the problems, the panel again show prompt process fails, and then the customer does requires new refund to retry. And this is the use case specifications for the order tracking. And first, in the brief descriptions, this use case allowed the user to track the status of their order after it has been placed. And users can view shipping details, estimated arrive date, and the real-time progress of these orders. And the system update the user with any change in the order status. And next, for the preconditions, the user must have an active account and be logged in. And the user must have placed an order that is being processed or shipped. And then under the characteristic of activations, This use case is activated when the user select the track orders option in the account or order history sections. After that, we look at the flow of event, starting with the basic flow. After completing the payment, the users can choose to track the orders. The system then display tracking detail include first is shipping status, and second is estimated the arrive date, and the third is order contain and reference numbers. And moving on, under the alternative flow is noted as not applicables. Then under the explicational flow, we have the first is E1 invalid order IDs, and the system will display fail to retrieve message, and the users can re-enter the order IDs. And finally, under the post conditions, the user is updated with the order real-time delivery status. And last, under the rule and also under constraint, both are noted as not applicables. This activity diagram for order tracking start when the users go to order trackings. After that, it's moved to the system side to retrieve order. So the system start by fetching the order details. Then it's come back to the user side where the users go to select an orders and choosing which specific order then they want to check. Right after that, it goes to the system again to display order info, and whereas the system show the detail of the selected orders. And next, the process check order status. If the status is not yet delivery, it will go to show tracking info directly. But if the order is already delivered, it will first go to show delivery status, and then also continues to show tracking infos. After showing tracking info, it moves back to the user side where the user is going to user view status, and they are complete the order tracking activity. This is the sequence diagram for order tracking use case. And first, the customer does check order tracking button, which go to the order tracking panels. And next, the customer enter the order ID through enter order ID, sending this to the panels. And then the order tracking panel send order ID to the order tracking controllers. And the controller code check order status on the order components. And this is follow where the order retrieve the data using retrieve order ID. And after that, the order tracking panel display the result to the user through display order status. And however, if there is an issue such as an invalid order ID noted as E1 invalid order ID, and then the panel will show the show fail retrieve message to indicate the failures. Then the customer can retry by doing re-enter order ID and then sending it back to the panel to start the process again. And we go to this is the collaborations diagram for order tracking use case. And it start where the customer does the click order tracking button and is sending this to the order tracking panels. And then the customer provide the input by doing enter order ID, which again go to the panels. Next, the order tracking panel send the send order ID to the order tracking controllers. And the controller continues by doing check order status, sending this to the orders. Then the order execute the retrieve order ID, returning the informations. And the order tracking panels then take over again to display result to the user by showing display order status. And if there's failure, the panel will do show fail retrieve message to alert the users. Lastly, the customer may try again by doing re-enter the order ID and sending this back to the panels.